just like lacrosse, you guys seem to be always on the road. This time down it's in Rochester, right? I should know that.
Rochester Hills.
Yeah, I grew up right next to there, so I should know that. But the highlight from that meet, obviously, and I think we just, let's talk about it right off the bat. Anna Larson, 400-meter hurdles in a time of 1:03.71 for the new school record. Talk about, first, just her individual performance.
Yeah, definitely just an awesome performance. I mean, we knew it was coming. I was actually surprised she didn't get it the time before. But yeah, she just ran. I mean, it wasn't the greatest day at that point. It was kind of raining and cool, but she's just been working so hard and so strong, and she actually stumbled a little bit on one of the hurdles, so we think it probably could have been even faster. So once she gets that, I mean, she was just going so fast. So yeah, so really exciting. Definitely great performance, and so she's such a great young woman. So works so hard, and has come such a long way, and from high school. So it's just fun to see the hard work pay off.
Yeah, especially being as far as a local kid to come here and have that type of performance at the next level is awesome. But you guys had more than just that performance. Gianna Hoving won the gold in the 800 meter, and also across the board. I mean, another great showing. It seems like for you guys. Talk about who else kind of impressed.
Yeah, I mean, definitely great performances across the board. Again, Crystal in the long jump and the hurdles. I mean, she didn't run the finals of the hurdles just because she's a little bit tired out, so we just wanted a little bit of a strain in her hamstring, so wanted to make sure she didn't get hurt. And then Elise ran well, and then in that 400 hurdles also Akira Venerable. She's been kind of a little bit injured all spring, so she's. She's moving up there too in that, so it's going to be fun to see at conference what she does there, and then yeah, I mean, just across the board. Also, our pole vaulters, Leah Root actually equaled her PR, and she went for the 3.75, which would have been the provisional mark. So close on that. And then the distance runners, they did really well. Like you said, Gianna Hoving. In the 800, kind of all by herself. She ended up just pulling away and dropping everybody. So it was fun. So it was a PR and as a freshman, a really good time. And in that 1500, then her and Maddie Zamansky, they were kind of going in ranked 6th, 7th in that race, and they're kind of in the middle back. Gianna was actually at the back of the pack for the first 2 laps, and then she just started going and was right up there in the front. And some of the young women that were ahead of them, or that were ranked ahead of them, had some pretty fast times. So pretty impressive. And then Maddie saw Gianna going, so Maddie went, and then around the last curve, they kicked it in past the couple people ahead of them, and then just the one ended up ahead of them, and then they were side by side coming in. So and a super fast time. I mean, that's under a 5-minute mile pace. So pretty impressive. And Gianna was actually a little bit disappointed that Maddie beat her by that 0.3 of a second. So they are going to be some impressive, athletes in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
For sure. And then the 1500, the 5K, we had some PRs, and then in the steeplechase, a few PRs. And so we had 10 PRs and 10 changes again on the top 10 list. Our 4x100 relay too was really close, so that was all. We ended up 100th, I think, behind Wayne State. We beat Saginaw by 1/100th.
Yeah, 300th.
Yeah, 300th. Yeah. So it was a tight race. Yeah. So that was, and we don't have a track at 400. So for them, they practice the handoffs, but it's not exactly on the 400 track. So really impressive what they do get that going. The 4x4 was a solid finish, one of our top 10 finishes. So overall just looking good for the conference, which is in less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, seriously. And I was going to touch on the relays, so that was the next thing I want to talk about, but you did a great job talking about that already. So, I mean, up next for you guys, down just in a few days here to Whitewater. Talk about preparation heading into that one.
Yeah, so that one we're leaving some athletes home to kind of rest, because then we leave right away on Tuesday for a conference, which is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of next week. It's less than 2 weeks away. Yeah. It's like a week away. And so it's kind of a tune-up more this one for, just a few to get another chance to compete. And some of the distance runners are resting because it's hard to run a lot of 5Ks and ran some 10Ks. So, and then a few, like Crystal's gonna rest because she's a little bit beat up, so resting her up for the big conference. So it's a tune-up, but ready to have some good performances. Prepare again, just be prepared for that big conference championships and see what we can do there.
I would say definitely from an outsider's perspective, it feels like you guys should, make a push as far as that conference goes and make some noise to be, whether it be podium, whether it be pushing the top, whatever it is. I got to imagine there's a lot of excitement and anticipation from the squad.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, and in some of the events, that we're pretty strong in, and some of the other teams that were close to us don't have as many athletes in those events. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be tight again, I think, I think, Grand Valley. But then after that, it's going to be pretty tight for the next spots in the conference. So, really excited. Everybody's super fired up about what we can do, what's possible, and then hit some even faster times, hopefully, hit some more provisional marks, chance for nationals. So.
Yeah. Do you find in those moments with potentially a bigger spectatorship or the big lights around, whatever kind of saying that you want to use, that those are potentially the best times or the best type of results that you'll find for some athletes?
Yeah, for sure. And and also we're sort of focused on that sort of tapering down, and that's kind of where, and hopefully right now it looks like the weather will be about 60 degrees, which would be which would be good. I mean, we had that Tiffin race that was warm, but this past weekend again was actually raining most of the day. The evening race, the distance races were calm and cool, perfect for distance. But you want a little bit warmer for the sprint. So, but yeah, that's where our group always seems to shine at that conference championships, which is great, and get our best times, and then, see what we can do from there, go on. And the following week we'll take some athletes to last chance meet, they call it, which they don't have in indoor, but in outdoor we have that. So we have one more shot at some national qualifying times.